If you want to check out the whole show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. All right, let's move on to the final game on the card, 10 p.m. Eastern, LA Clippers, Sacramento Kings. We have a full market here. Clippers open up at -7, quickly moves to -6. This total opens up at 231, and it is dropping. It is now at 229.5 at some books, but the leading indicator books haven't gone there. The leading indicator books are still at 230, so interesting to see the others go ahead and bring it down to 229.5. Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. Clippers 8-4, 4-2 on the road. The Kings 5-7, 4-4 at home. Clippers pace 28th in the NBA, 97.38 possessions a game, but they make the most of them. Kings 8th in pace at 102.20 possessions a game. Clippers have won 2 straight, 3 of 4, but they're playing underwhelming basketball. Coming off a 111-106 win at home over a Pelican squad that was missing Bledsoe and Lonzo. Kawhi goes for 28 points, 9 assists, 6 boards. Paul George goes for 27 points, 6 boards, 6 assists. Their roster is so strong that when I read out their 9-man rotation right now, I legitimately think, well, these players, they should win an NBA championship.
All right.
So look at this 5. Beverly, George, Leonard, Batum, Ibaka. I mean that's video game.
Right.
Sorry. Then you have Morris, Zubac, Lou Will, and Luke Kennard on the bench.
Yeah.
For the life of me, and I'd like you to touch on it. But for the life of me, why is this team not better? Lou Williams, hip listed as questionable. Patrick Beverly, personal, is questionable Friday's game as well. So this is going to be a spot where, I'm telling you guys, both Lakers not so much, but this game, if Lou Will and Beverly are out of the lineup, we've already seen this move from 7 to 6. If one of them is out of the lineup, I really like the Kings first half here, and I want to get the best line available. This one I find tricky. Kings have lost 3 of 4. They're coming off a 132-126 loss at home to Portland. They're playing no defense, allowing 122 points per game. They lost to Portland while shooting 52.4% from the field and 50% from 3. I don't know how you lose a game when you shoot like that. Buddy Hield, probable with an ankle injury. Touch on this game. Very interesting game to close out our Friday night action.
Okay, so when it comes to the Clippers, like all the talent in the world, but to me, they're pretty soft. And when it comes down to it, when your best player is not a leader, that's an issue. Kawhi Leonard is their best player. He's not a leader. If we want to argue Paul George is the best player, he's not a leader. Either one of them aren't. You know, it just comes down. That's what it comes down to. They need a leader, and the leader needs to be Kawhi Leonard. And I don't know if that's going to happen. Until that happens, they probably won't win an NBA championship. And their defense. Can
I interrupt you with one question then? Do you think that the Raptors won it all because of Kyle Lowry's leadership?
I think it's pieces. It's pieces. Everything's a piece. So especially when it's like that. Now, I hate to tell you this, but the Raptors won it all because of injuries on the other side, Jimmy.
But they won the final series because of injuries on the other side. But they didn't roll through the Eastern Conference and make the NBA final because of injuries.
Yeah, because they did have a leader in Kyle Lowry, and I do believe Nurkic is a good, solid coach as well. Nurses, however you say his name, but I do believe he's a good college coach. Yeah, or a good, solid coach as well. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Kyle Lowry to me is a leader in the NBA. He definitely is. So yeah, that gets you there. You know, at the same time though, Kawhi has to step up and become that leader. Now, you can bring in someone else, like maybe, another guy that could be that, but there's only certain players that could be that. And that Kyle Lowry, it was different when Toronto coming in with Kawhi coming into Toronto. So Kawhi, that was kind of Kyle Lowry's team. So, and he just had to play the role. Kind of was a perfect fit right there, and then everything worked out for Toronto.
I'd like you to get back to breaking down this individual game, but I think you're absolutely right on that. And if you were traded to the Clippers and you were supposed to become vocal, you're going to walk into that locker room with Paul George and Kawhi and become the most vocal guy right away? I mean, that takes time to have, to build that trust and character. So you're absolutely right. So then what the hell do you do with this Clippers team moving forward, and what the hell do you do with them tonight against the Kings?
Yeah, I mean, they're 4-0 ATS in their last 4 in Sacramento. You know, they're 8-2 in their last 10 ATS versus Sacramento. And they're actually 15-5 in the last 20 road games, 4-2 ATS on the road this season. So if you are going to back the Clippers, you back them when they get the hell out of LA. But in saying that, I don't know if I could do that. I do lean strongly, and I have the Clippers right down here, Jimmy, but you beat them so damn hard, I don't know if I can go to the window with them now. But I do like the Clippers in this spot simply because they're a better team than Sacramento. Sacramento seems to be going the other way. They got the 3 best players on the court, I think, are probably realistically on the Clippers side, definitely 2. And then, of course, I give the coaching edge to the Clippers as well. So it's just a matter of if they're going to cover. If you're going to take Sacramento, I would do a first half because eventually the Clippers are going to get them. And like I mentioned to you, it's just a matter if they cover that 6.
Very interesting. What a tricky – I guess with the COVID issues and injury issues, this is probably the trickiest card that we've faced because usually we have, at least a half dozen picks each.
Right.
And here, I think I'm going to – well, let's go over everything right now. But is there anything you want to make official here in Clippers Kings?
Do you have a first half line on the Clippers?
I do.
I mean, what is it? Are we going to go heads up? Should we go heads up here?
If it happens, it happens. And I'm not bullish here. And the fact that the Clippers have been playing so underwhelming, I'm starting to think this might be a mistake. I think I'm getting too caught up. Okay, but another part of it was Beverly personal, so he's dealing with something.
I think Lou's ready to go, though. No. Well,
he only played 9 minutes in that win over the Pelicans, so something's wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll stay out this game, but I mean, what is it? 3.5 first half?
Wow, there's a 2.5 at BetMGM at -120.
Yeah, let me get that, Jim.
Holy, a 2.5.
Yeah, let me get that, man. Let me get the clip.
Wow.
I'll take this one on chin. Hey, the good thing about this one, Jim, if I lose, you win, my guy.
Well, I'm starting to hesitate, especially seeing you on the Clippers, and I think part of the reason is that I'm clearly dealing with recency bias.
Yeah,
they're just not playing good basketball.
But when I say that you say that they're not playing good basketball, they're elite on the offensive end. They just don't really play great. They only play defense when they want to, and that's not that often. But like you mentioned, the pace is slow as fuck, but they score crazy because they're elite. They shoot 3. What is Paul George? Paul George shooting damn near 50% from the 3-point line, maybe even 50%. It's insane. I know Kawhi is over 40. I don't want to get on exact numbers, but they're scoring at a rate that won't last, but their offense is that good.
Well, I said it on our last show. Remember on
right.
Our last show Wednesday night, I gave out their points per game and their pace, and I said maybe that's a mistake.
Right.
And I went and had to double check
it. Yeah. It's their 3-point game. The way they move the ball with Ibaka, it's a perfect fit. It's just a matter if they play defense, Jim. And it's a want to. It's toughness at the end of the day.